All right, welcome. Excuse me. Welcome all to Movement Yoga. We got a 20-minute practice today with Kathy Cormier. So yeah, get ready, grab whatever you need, and we'll get going. You ready to go, Kath? All right, come on up. All right, it's a short one today, so let's get going.
Good morning, everybody.
All right, welcome, Kathy.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring hands on hips. Let's start to march it from side to side. Waking up those legs. Inviting in more prana, more flow. Now grounded down through 2 feet as we rock it from side to side, shifting the weight between the feet. Now equalizing the weight between the 2 feet as we find our center. From here, let's lift up heels and lift up toes, starting small. And then once you find your balance, letting it get bigger as we wake up those feet. As we keep our balance, connecting with our low belly. From that bigger movement, starting to get back small, grounded through the toes, grounded through the heels, as we find our center. From here, let's bring hands to the heart, the light press of your thumb against your sternum, lining up each finger, a soft tuck at the chin, relax shoulders, watching as your breath flows in, and as your breath flows out. I'll invite you to set an intention for your practice. And that intention might be as simple as be here now. Lifting the chin tall through the crown, I'll allow you to roll your hands over as you bring your hands by your side. Let's step 1 foot back, other foot front as we grind down through the balls of the toes and circling the ankle, the knee, and the hip. Inviting in more flow. And then taking those circles the other way. Now grounded down through that foot, we'll step the other foot up, grounding down through the balls of the toes as we circle the ankle, the knee, and the hip. Inviting in more flow. And then taking those circles the other way. ground down through that foot. We'll step the other foot back, either working the tips of the toes or the tops of the toes. This might be a little tricky with your balance as we circle our ankle. And then taking those circles the other way. Stepping that foot front, we'll step the other foot back, either the tips or the tops of the toes. Mind your balance as we circle our ankle. Inviting in more flow. And then taking those circles the other way. Stepping that foot front, bringing the knees together. We'll come down and cap the knees. If that's too low, you can always work the tops of the thighs as we circle our knees. Depending on where your knees are this morning, you could work slow. Might be a spot where you move a little slower through, a little smaller. Always listening to your knees and respecting what your knees want. And taking those circles the other way. Now coming back center, separating the feet hip apart. I'll ask you to go sideways, Kathy. Hands find the back of the hips, the fingers face down. Starting small as we circle our hips. Equal weight in both feet. And now letting that circle get bigger as we shift the weight between the feet. Stretching out our hips, our lower back. Inviting in more flow. From a bigger circle, we'll start to dial it in. Coming back towards our center. Like a bee circling around a flower. Once you find your center, starting a small circle the other way, equal weight in both feet. And then when it feels right and good, let that circle get bigger. Big moves back towards center as we find a small little circle connecting with our center. Pretending we have an extra set of hands, keeping the hips relatively stable. Our real hands come to each shoulder. Starting small as we circle our shoulders. And then letting it get bigger. If you're feeling solid and grounded this morning, maybe adding a little swing of the head, a sway of the neck. Inviting in more flow. A big circle starts to move back towards center. Once you find your center, we'll start small as we circle those shoulders the other way. And when it feels right and good, let that circle get bigger. Depending on your balance, you can add a swing of the head, a sway of the neck. Intuitive movement. Listening to your body. And most importantly, respecting what your body has to say. Letting that bigger circle move back in as we find our center. Arms in the air, like you either do or don't care. I'll cue left and right here. If you're on the other side, no big deal. Thumb and forefinger of the right hand catch the left wrist. We can traction that left shoulder. And then starting to circle the shoulders to the right as we circle the hips to the left. Starting small. And then letting it get bigger. That bigger circle becomes smaller as we move towards our center. Once we find our center, thumb and forefinger of the left hand traction that right shoulder. And then we can start to circle the shoulders to the left as we circle the hips to the right. Starting small, but then letting it get bigger. That bigger circle becomes smaller as we move back towards our center. And hands by our side. Let's come out of those shoulders a little bit, Catherine. As we inhale the shoulders up towards the ears. On the exhale, just let it drop. You can do a short, sharp exhale out through the nose if you choose. and down. Let's do one more. Up and down. From here, keeping our heat up, let's do one fire breath session here. As we inhale, the arms up in front. On the exhale, a short, sharp exhalation out through the nose as we bend the knees and cast the hands back. Let's do 8 of those. And a couple more. And then back up. And either stepping or maybe jumping your feet a little bit closer together as you challenge your balance. Sun Cell A, we'll take it in 3 pieces. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, hands back down. 2 more times like this, breathing, arms up. Exhaling, arms down. 1 more time, observing the natural rhythm of the shoulders. As the arms elevate, the shoulders elevate. As the arms descend, the shoulders descend. Adding a forward fold and a back bend. Maybe you want to grab a brick. No big deal if you don't or do. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Half sun cell here. Take a breath to arc the back. Hands could cap the knees. You could also use a brick. On the exhale, either lowering the brick or catching the back of the shins as we round the spine. Strong tuck in the chin. Inhaling, finding your neutral spine. Arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. 2 more half sun salutations. Inhaling up. On the exhale, leading with the heart as you fold. Take a breath to arc the back. And now arching the spine, strong tuck in the chin as we fold again. Inhaling, finding your neutral spine. God bless you. Arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. 1 more to go. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Take a breath to arc the back. Now arching the spine, strong tuck in the chin. Notice how that stretches out the low back. And then leading with back heart, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. Sun Cell A. On this first one, I will not cue vinyasa. Inhaling up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Take a breath to arc the back. And then arching the spine, strong tuck in the chin as you ground down to the hands, stepping 1 foot back and then the other as you find your down dog. As we hold this first down dog of this practice, I'll invite you to walk your dog. You should bend 1 leg deeply and then the other. Grounding down to the opposite heel. Maybe go a little bit further there. Maybe adding a little swing of the shoulders, a little sway of the head. Just tuning in. How does your body feel today? What feels tight? What feels right? What feels somewhere in between? From a place of movement, moving back towards stillness. Long arms, long legs, long spine, deep full breath. Tail end of a breath. I'll invite you to bend your knees ever so slightly, both of them. Lifting the tailbone just a little bit higher, finding just a little more space in your low back. And then looking between the hands as you mindfully make your way to the front of your mat. Take a breath to create length when you arrive, arcing the back. Exhaling, arching the spine as you fold. Inhaling, finding your neutral spine, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. This time I will cue vinyasa. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, leading with the heart as you fold. Take a breath to arc the back. And then arching the spine, strong tuck of the chin as you keep the elbows soft, finding a push-up. Stepping 1 foot back and then the other. Feel free to use the knees or not. Yoga style, the elbows shave the ribs. Either bringing the hips all the way down, pulling back with the hands to find your cobra so you lift head and heart. Or maybe you lift those hips up for your up dog. Feeling free to use the knees or not, as you either roll back over the toes or using the knees to find your down dog. And holding for 4 or 5 long slow breaths. Either holding down dog in stillness, seeing what arises, or feeling free to add movement, stirring it up. Again, just tuning in. How does your body feel this morning? from a place of movement, moving back towards stillness. Long arms, long legs, long spine, deep forward breath. Tail end of our breath, bending the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher. And either stepping or jumping to the front of your mat. Take a breath to arc the back. Exhaling, arching the spine as we fold again. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, hands over head pose. On the exhale, standing tall. Let's do one more sun sal A. We'll throw a plank into the mix. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, finding your forward fold. Inhaling, finding length as you look up. On the exhale, finding your push-up. We call it chaturanga in yoga. Take your time. Find your flow. Follow your breath. Feel free to use the knees or not. Rolling over the toes, finding your back bend, be it cobra or up dog. And either using the knees or rolling back over the toes as you find your down dog. At home, feeling free to hold down dog. Maybe you sneak in a child's pose. Otherwise, for the purposes of this practice, I'll invite you, Kathy, to come forward to plank pose. Connecting head, hips, and heels. Despite the effort of the action, an easeful quality to our breath. Shoulders super, super, super engaged. Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, navel to spine. As you lift the hips high, back to down dog. And holding for another 3 or 4 long, slow breaths. If your breath picked up, because that is a hard pose, starting to slow the breath back down. Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step. Or take a jump to the front of your mat. Take a breath to find length in your earth. On the exhale, folding again. On the inhale, hands over head pose. Urdhva Hastasana, take your time. Exhaling, standing tall. Let's do one sun sal B, just for good measure here. We've added an extra breath to the opening sequence, and it's flow style. Inhaling into tall spine. Keeping tall spine, exhaling, finding your chair. Inhale and hold chair. Exhale, go lower, finding more strength in your legs. On the inhale, rising on up, finding a back bend at the top, open heart, open throat. And then exhaling, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to create length. Keeping that length as you fold again. And making your way back to down dog. Either cycling through vinyasa, stretching straight back, or making another choice instead. Take your time. Find your flow. Follow your breath. From down dog, flow style. Feet together. Right leg high for the 3-legged dog. High on the left toes as we stretch out Achilles tendon and calf. And then looking between the hands, pitching that leg even higher. And then flexing the foot as we sweep it on through. Landing it lightly, you can always take an extra step. Spinning the back heel down, hands can always find the hips as you find your balance. And then arms out to the side, and then overhead for your warrior one. On your next exhale, spinning the palms out, coming back to low lunge. Guided down through 2 hands as you spin that back heel up. And then back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa, stretching straight back, or making another choice instead. Second side when you're ready. Feet together, left leg high. High on the right toes as you stretch out Achilles tendon and calf. And then looking between the hands, pitching that leg even higher. And then flexing the foot as you sweep that foot through, landing it lightly, spinning the back heel down. Back leg long, back leg strong. Arms out to the side, and then overhead as we find our warrior one. And then from warrior one, spinning the palms out, finding low lunge as we spin that back to the left. And then last time this morning, back to down dog as you will. Awesome. And as we hold down dog, coming back to an even breath. From down dog, we'll allow you to land your knees lightly as we find a child's pose. Arms in extension, finding the tips of 10 fingers. Yeah, there it is. As we heavy the forehead through. And then letting those arms relax. As we hold this child's pose, finding your belly breath, even if it's just energetic, as you gently rock your hips from side to side. Now bringing hips center. I'll invite you to find a side bend as you walk your hands to one side, stretching far hip to far hip. Could you walk those hands just a little bit further to the side there, finding a little more stretch in that far hip. Now walking hands through center, finding that side bend on your second side, stretching other hip to other heel. Could you walk those hands a little bit further, finding a little more stretch in that far hip. Now walking hands center, finding the forearms. Let's find a frog pose here. As we start to separate the knees one at a time. When you can't separate those knees anymore, I'll invite you to exhale deeper into this shape. Whatever sensations you're feeling, breathing into those sensations. Coming up onto the hands, bringing those knees back in as we find our kneeling hero pose. The inner knees connect. One palm supports the other. Finding our breath. Long and tall through the spine with a soft tuck in the chin. From here, I'll invite you to bring your knees off to one side as you do a long, slow roll down onto your back. Finding your back. Starting from tall spine. Finding C-spine as you slowly roll it on down. When you get down to the floor, finding long spine, long arms, long legs. So arms overhead, we do this first. Low back lifts. Stretching long spine right and then left. Like a cat getting ready for a nap. And then back to center. And now sweeping hands by your sides. As you widen your thighs, scooting the head back as you flatten your shoulders. Finding your Shavasana. Tip of the tongue now neutral in your mouth. A slight part to your lips, but still breathing in and out through your nose. Moving your mind before you move your body. Bringing your attention back to your breath. Watching as it flows in and out. Like watching a river as that river flows by. Or clouds as those clouds drift by in the sky. Like watching the flames of a campfire or a candle. From this place of watching your breath, shaping your breath as you lengthen your exhalation. Long, smooth breath in. Longer, smoother, slower breath out. Keeping this more easeful breath, inviting in more prana, more flow as you gently ripple fingers and toes. Inviting that flow in towards center as you gently circle your wrists and your ankles. When it feels right and good, adding the elbows, the knees, the hips, and the shoulders. Intuitive movement as you lay on the floor. Now pressing your back into the mat to recruit your core. As you draw one knee into the heart, the other knee follows. Hands catch the knees. We can use our thighs to gently massage our low belly as we gently lift and lower the low back and hips. An awesome pose for digestion as we digest the fruits of our practice. Keeping those knees close in, reaching back with a hand to lift and tuck the chin, keeping the neck relaxed. Chin stays tucked, the hand comes back to the knee or the shin as we start to rock ourselves front to back. You can also catch the back of the thighs, massaging your spine. And then rocking on up, finding a cross-legged sit. I'll invite you to face camera, Kathy. As we sit, hands on our knees, pulling back with the hands to settle the shoulders. Pressing into your sits bones to lift the kidneys in and up. Long through all sides of the neck with a soft tuck of the chin. I'll invite you to bring one hand onto the heart, the other hand on top. Ending our practice this morning, watching as our breath flows in and as our breath flows out. From this place of breath awareness, I invite you to bow as you thank yourself for practicing yoga. And as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world. The light within us honors and respects the light within you. And in this light, we are one. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Kathy, for practicing with me.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank everyone at home for practicing with us. And namaste. Have a nice day.